Woo.
Come on, Bailey.
DuckTales.
Come on, Bailey.
Woo.
Come on, Bailey.
We are live
Come
now.
on,
Not
bud.
that anyone's watching this.
I had to get a shirt that she could actually claw on without killing me.
No.
Alright. Come on, Bailey. Come here, bud. It's all about you, kid.
She's so little, yeah. She's just totally like zeroing on.
Come on. She needs love, dude. She's been in the garage all day. Come on. Get on my lap. Get on the lap. Come on.
Oh wait, you know what? Let's do the clap before you do that, so you can clap without holding a cat.
Oh, I'll just do snap if it's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hold on just a second. Let me delete my GarageBand that I've been recording. Make sure it was recording right. Bailey, chill out.
Oh, it's gonna be a per-field podcast again.
Yep.
Oh, happy cat.
All right, my friend. I'm ready to do the countdown when you are.
Okay. Do you want to do this? The recording snap?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So on the count of 3,
Okay.
clap.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Did you clap?
I actually got confused. I clapped and then hit the record button.
Okay, let me stop. Let me quit this real quick.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's try that again. Okay.
Oh, are we hitting record on the count of 3?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Well, I got the two confused. Okay, so I'll do... Okay, wait, hold on.
So we'll hit on 3. We're gonna both
hit
press
record.
record. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And now on 3, we're going to clap. All
Okay.
right.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
3.
There we go.
Yay! Merry Christmas. Okay,
All right, my
and
friend.
I've
I'm
done
ready
that.
to
I'm about to
record.
tweet the link. Tweet the link. Oh, we're actually kind of recording. We're actually kind of started vaguely on time this week too. Go figure. Where's the cat?
She's there. You can barely see her. She's right there.
Man, I would like to try to figure out how to do this Google Hangout thing where I could actually see the comments actually like as part of. There's got to be. I wonder if there's a view of Google Hangout that I'm missing because I've seen other people do, record podcasts via Google Hangouts, but they're looking at a screen that is not what I'm looking at, where you could actually see the live feed of the questions coming in. Where like it's a very specifically a question and answer field. It's not like where we're essentially running a live YouTube video and we're just getting comments and we have to look back at the comment field. It's a much more interactive.
On the left in the control panel, there is a Q&A button. Do you see right below where it says chat, screen share, Q&A?
Yeah, no, I just hit that up. This feature is disabled. You can only turn this feature on and off on the Google event page before the broadcast.
So it's something you got to do before you start.
Okay. Well, I'll figure that out for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want, we could just kill this feed and start over.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we already started recording.
It's your show. I'm just on it.
I'd have to dismantle everything. I'd probably have to reinvite you.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
We've done it. We've done it the hard way for this long. At least now in the future, I know. Yeah, I should have asked you before. Of course, you would know how to fix the basic problem.
I just looked at the screen.
I know. Shut up. I hate your. Oh yeah, it actually does say Q&A on the.
Anyway.
Oh Jesus.
All right. Are you ready, my friend?
Hello, one viewer. Yes. What?
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
All right.
All right. Hold on. Just a second. Let me pull up notes and do the thing.
So many notes. Yeah, I guess we'll be talking about E3 stuff. Oh, you started watching Orange is the New Black.
I've watched 2 episodes.
Oh man, I
refuse.
Everyone's watching it. I'm already behind. I haven't started watching it. I've been waiting. You know what? Actually, this afternoon, if I were smart, I would start watching Orange is the New Black while putting together my new Ghostbusters Lego kit.
All right. Hey everybody, it's the Boy Howdy Podcast. I'm Annie.
I'm Bill.
We're here to talk to y'all about more pop culture garbage.
Oh, bullshit that you already know, but we're just gonna regurgitate it here.
Hey, I don't know any of it. If it were for this podcast, I would be totally out of the loop pop culture.
That's true too, yeah.
Which I'm so grateful that you don't do a bill and use that as an opportunity to populate the Geek Week in Review with lies. So
Only
Thanks,
the
Bill.
occasional lie, and it's usually pretty funny lies at that.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm slipping in there stuff like, oh, and P.S. Bill became king of the world this week.
Hey, Bill, what'd you do this week other than become king of the world?
My penis grew so huge. That's my lie this week.
Good. That's great.
I joked with someone last night that my penis is just an angry clitoris, and they were laughing so hard.
Bill, what'd you do this week?
What'd I do this week? I went strawberry picking.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, it turns out Friday was the 10th anniversary of me moving to Portland.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason I could figure that out is because the second day I'd ever, my second day in Portland, Oregon was just happened to be the first day. It was the day that the very first Stumptown Comics Fest here in Portland happened.
Oh yeah.
And so all I had to do Google was what was the date of the very first Stumptown Comics Fest here in Portland, and I found that a day out, and I realized, oh shit, it's Friday. And so Dylan and Katie, we all went out to Sauvie Island and picked fresh strawberries, and it was super cool. And it was like a very nice little quiet afternoon. I mean, going out to pick strawberries isn't like some kind of huge event or anything like that.
But it's a very
nice just to get out of the fucking office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because usually Fridays, every day for me is a work day anymore. But it was nice just to get out in the sunshine and
yeah.
It wasn't until I got home I looked at my tennis shoes and I realized I must have been a fucking regular Godzilla out there because I had my shoes were pink with the blood of a bazillion strawberries I must have actually stepped on while I was out there. Well, that's the other thing. I didn't know strawberries. Have you ever gone to pick strawberries?
I have. Yeah.
They're low to the ground. Shit, I thought strawberries were like on vines. I thought it was like picking grapes or something like that. No, like you have to get down on your fucking hands and knees and do that shit.
Yeah.
And so oh man, strawberries. Oh, why? I should have brought some of the strawberries down here to eat while I was on the podcast. I know not that I should be going out of my way to eat on the podcast, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill. Well, I'm so cool. Bill, happy Portland anniversary.
Exactly. I did that, and I had people over last night to watch Grand Budapest Hotel and the Lego Movie, and that was cute. Jimmy and Conley stopped by. They said they were hanging out with you before they came out to hang out with me. Yeah. And they said they had a good time hanging out with you and Miss Virginia.
Yeah, we just had Jimmy all day, and we were also dog-sitting Miss Virginia. So.
Oh, I forgot Jimmy and Conley. They don't have the same days off together, so they couldn't be. Oh.
But we had lovely time. We he watched us prepare for our vacation. Foley and I
were you guys doing, like packing?
We had to go get cloth belts for our summer shorts.
What?
So you can't use a normal belt on shorts, like, or at least you shouldn't. So
you should have got like some bits of rope, so it'd be like our gang kind of stuff.
Well, no, we went to the Army surplus store and got webbing and made belts. So yeah.
What shorts do you have? You think shorts would have built-in drawstrings?
Some do, but not these. Not fancy girl shirts.
Also, like when you talk about lesbians going on a vacation and packing, that could actually mean two different things.
It's a funny joke, Bill, because we could be packing dildos. That's so good.
What dildos? You know what? Erica just recently introduced me to the fact that they actually do have packing. Well, I guess it's dildos too, but it's actually packing. It's not really used for sex, but it is supposed to be a flaccid penis they use. Yeah. Which, like, they seem super cool. I wish I had one just to have on my desk just to play with, like as a stress toy.
There is one in particular that's like really elasticy, and in one of the videos for the website, they show them like shooting them around the office like slingshots. Yeah.
Yeah, they almost seem like they're made out of like a wacky wall walker flesh.
Not quite.
I wonder if he really cleaned it. I wonder if he slammed like a packing dildo against a wall if it would like crawl down.
Well, that's a good question. I've never tried.
Oh, we should have a race.
For your birthday, Bill. I'm gonna get you a big.
I would not say no to that.
There's one called Mr. Right that comes in like 3 sizes.
Oh, really?
There's a wide world of packing out there, my friend. It's not all just a balled up pair of socks.
Yeah.
But anyway, happy Portlandversary, Bill.
Yeah, 10 years, man.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I need to get a car so I can more regularly take advantage of the fact that I live in Portland by going out to the Cascades or going out to the Gorge, going out to the... Because it is... You can totally see how... Springfield in The Simpsons is based vaguely off of Portland because we're like literally about 3 hours ride from snow-capped mountains, from a desert, from the Pacific Ocean beach to gorges. Like you could film all like the next 3 Star Wars trilogies.
Yep.
Here in Oregon, if you really wanted to, yeah.
God bless.
So what else?
It's lovely country that you and I do not take advantage of enough.
I know. Well, at least you have a car, but yeah, you have the excuse that you guys are homebodies. Where I'm just stuck at home because like I can only go where the buses take me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I take it. You know, I don't need to go out to nature. I just let nature come to me by not mowing my yard.
How do you guys even have a mower?
Yeah, I've got a push mower. It only takes about 15 minutes to mow my yard, which I do, but A, it's growing like a motherfucker because of the season.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to keep up. If you keep up with it, it makes it a lot easier, especially if you're using a push mower. If it's a gas mower, it doesn't matter so much, but yeah.
But the other issue that we have, weeds. I'm making one last pass with a relatively green to the earth, won't kill your yard, your grass weed killer. And if this doesn't work,
fucking kill the grass. Who gives a shit?
I'm bringing out the Roundup. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna fucking nuke it all from orbit.
Yeah, because if you kill the grass, and then you don't have to worry about the grass for the rest of the season.
There we go. That's
best of both worlds.
Making my yard look even more beautiful.
Yeah, if you're smart, you just pave over the goddamn yard, and no one will.
We're discussing. Foley's like, how would you feel if I just built a deck in our yard? Like,
yeah, Joshan's he's talking about our back deck. He's talking about just ripping it out because it's starting to rot and fall apart, and just turning the whole back deck into a garden, which that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like an old spa hot tub that broke a couple of years ago that we never used, so we really don't use that back deck for hanging out as much as we could. We have a carport with like a little bit of we could grill out and stuff. We would keep that, but yeah, Jojo would just. It'd be nice to have a garden actually.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this week, I got ready for my trip. I'm really excited about it.
So you're going up to Canada?
Yeah, we're gonna go up to Canada.
Can you mention who you're visiting?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very mysterious. We actually have to finish this podcast so I can finish Emily's birthday present. Today is her birthday, and I'm working on a ridiculous drawing of us. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So we're getting all our shit squared away. Meanwhile, when we're going to visit them, we're gonna play. Last time we hung out, we played Assassin's Creed 4 and had a lot of fun. And before that, we had played. I can't remember what game we played, but we have a ritual of playing games together. So we're gonna play Murdered Soul Suspect. Cause
I like you guys go out of your ways just to do the same stuff you do at home, but just together as a communal, social thing. No, I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that, but that's funny.
They're my best friends in the world. We have a plan that when Uncharted 4 comes out, we're gonna rent a cabin and go and just play it for a couple of days.
All I'm saying, it's really weird that you go out and hang out with people and do things that you love together.
I know, isn't it crazy?
That's just kind of creepy. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of gross.
But anyway, so we're getting used out of our vacations. We've been kind of busy, but the one thing we did do on Friday, my poor girl has been in crazy tooth pain. Do you remember when we went to PAX? Like that first PAX, you and I both, the second PAX we went to when it fully came, that she fucked up a filling. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She never got it taken care of because we had a terrible dentist.
That was like 5 years ago.
She finally got it taken care of, like Wednesday. Finally, we got a good dentist. Our dental plan changed at work. We could afford to do it. So she went and she got it taken care of. And it is astonishing. It's so funny that when people live with chronic pain, how it affects them. And that when they don't have to deal with chronic pain anymore, that it's like, it's like new life. It really is. So she's all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and adorable. And she was like, let's go see a movie, which she very rarely does. So we went to go see Edge of Tomorrow on Friday. It felt kind of weird to be going and seeing it around D-Day because the whole movie is about an invasion of Normandy.
Yeah.
That
shows what kind of like military rat that you are, that you care about, like you would be sensitive enough to be worried about like any kind of like cultural stuff around D-Day.
Well, Bill, imagine going to see a movie that's about an alien attack on New York on the anniversary of September 11th.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that, but like vast majority of people, most people don't even remember it was D-Day, versus much less even being conscious of like pop culture stuff being released around it. But so it was a good movie though.
It was fun. It was dippy fun. Like
it was Emily Blunt as hot as she looks like in her armor in the trailers, and not even the trailers, but like I said, like Entertainment Weekly had an article about Edge of Tomorrow, and some of the photos. She looks super badass.
She's super badass.
How you doing?
One thing I liked about this movie is that the whole premise, and I'm not spoiling too much because you know this much from watching the trailer, but the whole premise of the movie is that Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt have have experienced the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is that I get kind of fatigued of movies about badasses, but the whole idea of this movie is that neither of them were badasses before this repetition happened. And then just by being in a war over and over and over again, day in, day in, day out, that they became super badasses because what the fuck else do they have to do?
Isn't she training him?
Badass? Yes.
And so, has she been stuck in the loop longer than he has?
You will see. I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but it's a goofy, fun summer movie. It's the dude who did the Bourne movies.
Okay.
So,
I mean, he's a good action director.
Yeah.
I kind of I do like how the mech suits, instead of looking like super future, I mean, it's very junky futuristic stuff. They look like they just walked through a junkyard and the stuff got glued to them. It's not like super hyper designed, like anime bullshit or anything. You know? Which is funny because I know this the movie's based off of a manga called All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah, it's actually based off a novel.
That's what it was. I said manga. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, but I'm just saying.
So the what I do like is that it kind of is a mashup of obviously Groundhog's Day, Aliens,
and what's the Duncan Jones movie?
Well, Source Code. Source Code is a riff off of Groundhog's Day, though. So it's and weirdly the Americanization of Emily.
Why the Americanization of Emily?
You'll see.
Emily Blunt.
That's right. You'll see.
And she's slowly turning into American as longer she spends in this time loop.
You will see why it reminds me of the Americanization of Emily. But
I've never seen the Americanization of Emily, so I'm not even quite sure what the.
Are you, Bill? You as a Julie Andrews enthusiast?
Oh, I know.
You need to see the Americanization.
And again, everyone says that about The Sound of Music. I love her in Mary Poppins, but The Sound of Music drives me bonkers.
Bill, in The Sound of Music, she doesn't have a whole speech about how she loves to fuck soldiers because she wants to give them one last chance before they die. I'm just saying, dude.
When she gives the speech, is she addressing the audience directly, like she's talking to Bill Mudrin while he's watching the film?
I'm just saying, dude.
You know what the serious thing? You know what the terrible thing is? I'm going to start looking in the internet dumpster as we speak.
It's one of my favorite anti-war movies, and James Gardner is.
Oh, you know what? We've had this conversation before, because I remember specifically talking about, like, it's the combination of Julie Andrews and James Gardner is like, how did I not grow up watching this movie?
Exactly. It's it's a nicely shot movie.
Is it like from the 60s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, James Gardner wasn't a star until the 60s, but, well, it's not like she was a star until the 60s, too. But.
Well, it's directed by Julie Andrews' wife, or husband.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, it's fucking what's-his-face.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how they met?
No. They had, no. But, it's, I don't know.
This is already a good commentary track for the Americanization of Emily.
Oh, it's a good movie. I like it. I know nothing about it. So here we go.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Edge of Tomorrow, totally fun popcorn flick. It's the kind of, like, dumb sci-fi movie that I want to see every summer. It's just kind of goofy fun, doesn't take itself too seriously, tightly edited. And what was hilarious about this movie is that, so there's this one particular riff on aliens in it. Only
like, not just like riff. It's not just because it's a tough lady like as a soldier.
No, it's like aliens in particular, because they've got the whole dumb shit brigade.
Yeah.
Whereas in Aliens they actually are soldiers. In this they're genuinely just grunts who are no good at anything. They're just kind of like fucking around.
Cool if it's just like normal folk just given a gun and said, "Hey, march off to war."
That's very much the premise of
trenches.
this.
Yeah. See, that's kind of cool. See, that's again, if it's more like that and not just like rah Starship. Well, Starship Troopers is kind of fucked up and critical of war and stuff too. But if it's not just like glorifying the Marines or something like that, yeah, no, that actually sounds pretty cool.
But
I've heard surprisingly good things about this movie.
It's fun. Like, I would not go into it expecting to get like, I did not grow a cock and have it filleted by this movie, but it's
funny to hear anyone have anything good to say about, not that Tom Cruise movies are terrible by default, but
yeah,
Tom Cruise movies tend to be kind of glossy and kind of bland all in the same kind of way. Even the one Steven Spielberg directed Tom Cruise movie is just kind of like, kind of generic crime, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So.
Well, I have a hard time with Tom Cruise, but the whole point of this is that you see him go from a Weasley person you don't like to a person who deserves some respect. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Tom Cruise rarely plays scumbags or people who are already automatically kind of to begin with. So
yeah.
And did you ever see Ender's Game?
No.
Did you ever read the book?
Yeah, I read the book.
So the book is good, right?
It's very good. It's too bad it was written by Orson Scott Card.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies that are better than they have any right to be, the Ender's Game movie is actually not that bad.
It's too bad that I can't see it because it's Orson Scott Card. Like,
let's put it this way: we watched it in a manner that did not put money into Orson Scott Card's pocket.
Good on you,
which is the optimum way to watch Ender's Game.
This is true.
No, it's really is. If you didn't know the backstory of Orson Scott Card and what a jackass he is, it's just a passable science fiction movie starring a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
it's like the Goonies with lasers.
How was Haley Stratford or whatever his name is?
You know what? I had no idea. It's okay. So the main character is Hugo.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend is True Grit.
Yeah.
And his sister is
what's her butt? Yeah.
Is the Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And also his surrogate military dad is Han Solo, but everyone knows that. But yeah.
So what I wanted to tell you about Edge of Tomorrow before we move on to Ender's Game is that what's great is that there's this whole aliens riff, and Bill Paxton plays their drill sergeant.
Yeah, what the hell is Bill? You know what? It wasn't until he started tweeting about Bill Paxton I was like, you know what? I am guaranteed to see this movie someday.
He is the best part of that movie. He has so much fun being a bombastic drill sergeant. It is the best.
His character is not like named like Captain Hudson or anything, is it?
No, it's a very he's a Kentuckian from Science Hill, Kentucky, and he believes you shall be reborn in the crucible of warfare. It's the best.
So is anyone conscious that this is happening to people then? Is that just like kind of like a little cosmic joke they throw in the movie?
You will see, Bill, won't you? But anyway, he's great in it. And what was really great, there's the Vasquez-y sort of character in that she's the tough lady in the squad.
Emily Blunt's character?
No. I'm talking about
I thought you were talking the Vasquez character is Emily Blunt.
Well, yes, in that she is the true
lady.
Vasquez, in that she is the badass, but in the actual bullshitty little troop of grunts that Tom Cruise gets shuffled around with, the Vasquez character, in that she is the token female, butch-ass weirdo female, is this She looks like she should be one of Pensatucky's minions in Orange is the New Black. She's kind of this filthy, accented weirdo. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, God, this lady is really, really familiar, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Afterwards, during the credits, I'm like, holy shit, that's Tom Hardy's wife. Charlotte Riley, who's a very pretty woman, gets like this, her hair is all fucked up and she has like faux teeth and is just like growing in a thick accent, just saying every single fucking goddamn shit and swear she possibly come up with.
I had no idea Tom Hardy was married to anybody.
They secretly got married recently.
How can that vagina withstand that much manhood?
You know, we'll have to ask her.
God, how is she not just like perpetually just impregnated with his fertile seed, like even remotely from halfway across the world while they're filming different movies?
It's a really good question, Bill.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we live in a world in which the present day Mad Max is married to the present day Vasquez.
Do you think she has ever made him a TV dinner and made the joke while serving it to him, saying, "Would you like your Bronson's TV dinner?"
Probably. I'll just say, probably. That sounds likely, Bill.
I need to see Bronson again. Oh my God.
We just started watching it again recently. That fucking movie.
That fucking movie. Yeah, people listening to us at home, if you've never seen, we've talked about Bronson before, but if we haven't brought it up recently, yeah, it's one of his first movies that kind of shot him to superstardom. Not that a lot of people have seen Bronson, but he has such a specific crazy role in that movie. He is just.
It's a Nicholas Winding Refn movie, so Drive.
Yeah. Did you see that guy? He's talking about it like he wants to make like an all-female. Was it horror movie?
He also wants to make a Logan's Run that's a musical comedy. So, I'm just saying, Bill.
That guy's at least always got ideas.
You were talking about how Tarantino is always flicking shit. I'm just saying. Anyway,
Ender's Game, there's not much. I didn't even have much to say about Ender's Game, other than I was surprised it was not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even know who made it. The cast and everything is pretty good, but yeah.
It's Gavin Fox, the poor bitch who did the Wolverine movie that Fox took out from underneath him, right?
What, the Japanese, the one that just came out last year?
No, the last one with Liv Schreiber in it that no one liked and everyone
Oh,
forgot
and
about.
the one that the first standalone. Oh, when they were gonna like make standalone X-Men movies for all the
Yep.
X-Men.
Yep.
Oh, and they started with Wolverine, and everyone hated it.
Mhm.
I've never seen that movie. I've just seen the trailers where it looks like the blue screen for like Wolverine's hanging off like the top of a truck. It looks It looks almost bad enough to be like a Saturday Night Live skit. It's fucking terrible.
But that movie,
Ugh.
like, they would do things like the Fox would go and repaint his sets overnight before filming.
Really? Why?
Like, they meddled like fuck with
Why?
that movie.
Oh, that sucks.
They did not trust him with that
That's
production.
from a technical perspective. Ender's Game is not bad. Yeah, like I said, the cast is good. I don't know. It's a nice anti-war movie. It's I don't know. I just judging by assuming they were relatively faithful with the original book, I could see why people have loved the book so much, especially people who play video games.
It's a very good book if you were a kid who ever grew up feeling different, and that's why
it's essentially just the Harry Potter story again of like orphan kid who's whisked away to a not magical academy, but like to a
right.
like academy where he like through trials and tribulations he earns a couple close friends and they end up saving the day instead of Death Eaters they're fighting aliens. But
yeah.
But I do like the fact that at the end of Ender's Game, spoiler for Ender's Game, that he does get pissed off at the people who have been training him the whole time, and then he walks away from them. And says, fuck you, I'm gonna strike out on my own. But yeah, so weird that Scott Card. There seems to be a lot of multinational ethnic stuff in that movie, which I guess is also the same thing in the books.
Yeah.
Like characters from all kinds of different walks of life. Yeah. One of his best friends he makes in the movie, which according to Joshin is the same way as in the books, is like a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And they very specifically point out the fact that he's Muslim and stuff like that. And it's so weird that Orson Scott Card would suddenly say would be that cool with all multiculturalism, but say them gays. We can't have that.
As long as they don't touch people's genitals whose genitals are the same as theirs, he's fine with it, dude.
It's almost like human beings all have different weird shit going on in their heads.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's Ender's Game.
I'm glad you had a good time with it, my friend. Yeah. The only other movie I watched this week was The Eagle.
The hell? Oh, wait.
It's Channing Tatum and Jamie Bell vehicle that came out a couple of years ago.
That is nuts. Isn't that the title of the first episode of HBO's Rome? Are they trying to recover a golden eagle for their Roman soldier guys?
I love how you go, isn't that like HBO's Rome as opposed to an actual event in history?
Well, what is it?
Happens? It's covered in I, Claudius as well, my friends. One of the legions stationed in Britain marched.
So it is a Roman thing.
They were lured. They were lured into the natives lured this idiotic legionnaire leader dude into a ambush. Pretty much slaughtered all the Romans, and more importantly, they lost this golden eagle that was the symbol of Rome, and blah blah blah.
Oh, so it is the same plot. I see. Okay.
It's an actual thing that happened in history.
But also is the plot of the pilot for HBO's Rome.
Yes, it is also the plot of an episode of I, Claudius, and presumably the book I, Claudius. But anyway, the premise of this movie is that Channing Tatum plays the son of that dude, that asshole who lost it. And to reclaim his family's honor, he goes to Britain and tries to reclaim the eagle, blah, blah, blah. And Jamie Bell is his slave. They become bros. And it was funny because my wife, because she was laid up by her tooth shit, she watched all of these movies. She's like, Annie, I'm going to make you watch The Eagle with me. And that certainly was a bro movie through history, which is a genre I'm a sucker for. And I am a sucker for Romans, and I am a sucker for Jamie Bell, but that's not a very good movie.
Wait, did anybody interesting make that?
It's a documentary, and I looked him up on IMDb, and I can't remember anything about him now. So it's a weird little movie. So I'm glad we both watched movies of yesteryear that people have forgotten about already.
Is it at least sexy at all? Anyone take off their pants?
I really like the hairstyles of ancient Rome.
Okay.
And Jamie Bell has a pretty good stubble going, so yeah, I got what I needed from it.
Tatum. You're a Tatum fan.
I am not a Tatum fan.
I thought you were.
We've had this conversation many times. I think he looks like a thumb.
He does look like a thumb. That's why I thought you liked him.
No, we've had this conversation many times. He should be my type, but he is not.
Yeah,
But I actually,
he's just a thick dude.
he should be my type. He should be the sort of type of my wife and I, but somehow he's not. He's a brute with a sense of humor. That's normally our jam.
Yeah.
But no, sadly no. And
Aw.
except for this movie, he's pretty good. Because I can't resist a man uh in a Roman haircut. So.
No. Man, I forget. Did you ever see the Grand Budapest Hotel?
Yes, I saw it before you, and we talked about it on this very podcast.
Did you like it?
I did very much.
Okay. No, I just had people over last night. We watched that in the Lego Movie, and I was kind of surprised that everyone really dug both movies. I thought more people would have more problems with them, but yeah,
you are the only person I know who did not really like Grand Budapest Hotel. How did you like it on the second viewing?
No, I really like it. You know, it's also one of those movies that gets a lot better on the second viewing too.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think that and Moonrise Kingdom really kind of form a nice renaissance for Wes Anderson because I've never seen the Darjeeling Limited, but I've heard people say it was terrible. I could not tolerate the little opening mini movie that they had before the Darjeeling Limited.
Mm-hmm.
That pissed me off so much. It was so twee.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. And again, Rushmore being one of my favorite movies of all time, it's not like I can't tolerate Wes Anderson's tweeness, but it kind of went overboard there a little bit. But yeah, no, this Grand Budapest Hotel and Moonrise Kingdom are definitely like his kind of comeback a little bit in terms of.
Yeah, I am not big on Wes Anderson. His movies kind of irritate me, but Grand Budapest Hotel was easily my favorite of his.
Ray Fiennes is really good in that too. Yeah.
Everyone in that is so good. Like that kid who plays Zero is so great.
Hilarious. You know, it wasn't until we were watching like an HD last night that we realized half the movie he spends with Ray Fiennes they're on the run and they're supposed to be in disguise as peasants. And you realize that his disguise is the fact that he has not painted on his pencil mustache.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, goddamn cute. But yeah, Lego Movie, and I was very happy to see everyone laughing pretty hard at the Lego Movie stuff.
The Lego Movie is great. We just rewatched it last weekend. It's a fucking great movie.
So many goddamn dumb jokes.
So good. It's those Clone High dudes, man. They know what they're doing.
Those guys are. I'm curious to see. Is it supposed to be this fall that their Will Forte Last Man on Earth comedy is supposed to be out?
I think so. Yeah, it's going to be on Fox this fall.
Yeah, so that's what I did last night too. I guess that was part of the continuing Bill Mudrin's 10-year in Portland celebration, was just having people over to watch stupid movies last night.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah, Jimmy Connolly showed up. Connolly was dressed super pretty.
Yeah.
That sounds like, it's not like Connolly's usually dressed like a garbage heap otherwise, but like she had this nice kind of like flesh-colored dress that kind of almost like Victorian or something like that. Nice little summer dress.
She's a fancy-ass broad, my friend.
Well, I know so many tough, badass ladies. It's rare that
Connolly is one of them, too, my friend.
Yeah, and it's rare that I'm hanging out with a friend who's like, looks dainty. And I was like, oh.
Bill, one of your best friends of the last 10 years has been Dylan McConis.
No, but Dylan, she'll wear pants and stuff like that, but she's not like sundress. She's not like somebody who would like make a great Tumblr sketch of, is all I'm saying. She's a weird uggo with like huge like Simpsons overbite. She's got these Godzilla pointy things sticking out of her butt. But you know what I mean? There's a Portland pixie girl style, and that's not necessarily like very classical. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it like talking about fucking dress?
I love Bill trying desperately to dig himself out of this one. That's pretty good.
That's the thing. I'm terrible at giving compliments without making them extraordinarily backhanded or someone else. That's why I never give compliments.
It's pretty good.
Not consciously, I don't know. I always dig myself into trouble.
I love you, Bill.
Oh, wait, we have a comment from Jonathan Santiago, who's probably undoubtedly stopped listening to us, but he says, it's not Star Wars without Tatooine. Does Portland have enough sand for Tatooine or snow for Hoth? Portland doesn't, but Oregon surprisingly does.
Mm-hmm.
Or again, Oregon has snow-capped mountains and maybe not vast, like Sahara deserts, but there's like salt flats and sandy dunes and deserts.
Yeah, we've got some pretty significant deserts here in Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we got all that majestic shit going on.
Yeah, you could at least do a Suicide Girls Star Wars themed photo shoot, either on Hoth or in Tatooine.
Pretty sure someone has. That just seems like too
no,
easy.
One of the Suicide Girls I remember, she actually did a Dune themed Suicide Girls.
Seriously?
She was out in the middle of the Oregon desert. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So
the only game I really played this week, other than I'm still kicking a lot of ass in a dumb shit Marvel Dark Avengers game on my Android. So yeah, that's going pretty well. My match 3 game is doing pretty good. But the only game I played this week was I got Murdered Soul Suspect on Tuesday.
So what the hell is that?
So it's the latest from Airtight Games. These are the folks who did that Dark Void game that no one played also.
No.
I think, I don't know if they developed or just released that Quantum Dreams game from the lady who had worked on I can't remember what game she worked on. Had she worked on Portal 2 and she went on to make her own game? I can't remember. But anyway, but these are folks who came from the Crimson Skies team. So I have an irrational fondness for them for that reason alone. Murdered Soul Suspect is it's multi-platform. It's a adventure game in which you are a detective who is solving the case of his own murder. You are a ghost.
There's actually the game Ghost Trick is kind of the same thing. You're a ghost, and you have to come back and figure out why you were killed.
Here is my review of Murdered Soul Suspect. I've played 2 hours of it, and so the protagonist's exposition is told primarily through his tattoos. That is my review of Murdered Soul Suspect.
So wait, he's not a ghost. He's an actual fleshy dude walking around.
Well, at the start of it, it opens with his murder, and he still has his ghost form is still his body, so he has his tattoos and shit.
Oh, you can't possess stuff?
You can. There are many mechanics, but you're still wandering around.
That's the rip-off of Ghost Trick.
It's almost like games or other games, Bill. Did you know that Rayman is totally a rip-off of Mario? Were you aware?
Yeah. No.
The thing that's weird about Murder Soul Suspect, and granted I'm still very early in it yet, is I love adventure games, so I'm going to keep playing it. But it's strangely charmless. Like, it doesn't really have anything that has hooked me in. Like, the gameplay is...
writing and stuff?
Anything. Like, the art direction is, fine. I really like the silky texture of the back of his vest. And, but that's kind of... That's
really bad when you're looking for good things to talk about a game. You're like, his vest texture is pretty badass.
It just jumped out at me. It's a nice little detail. Jesus. And you look at the back of a character a lot in video games.
I know, and that's why a lot of dudes like to play as not a lot of dudes, but like it seems like half the guys who play as ladies just use the excuses like I'd rather look at a lady butt than a dude butt for half the game.
But yeah, the character. The world, the writing, the music, the voice acting, the story, nothing there has actually kind of...
Well, isn't it like a mid-budget game?
Yeah.
I have to say mid-budget games by default always have to be super bland.
Well, no, but there is usually... When I play a game, there is usually something in it that I can say, this aspect of it has kept me going. And granted, again...
I have no idea why you haven't stopped playing it.
Well, it's an adventure game, and I will play it to completion.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, other than that, it's kind of...
Well, sometimes you're kind of starved for a game in a particular genre, and that may justify why you keep on playing a game you might otherwise not be that invested in.
It's one of those things, though, where there are some games where you are doing investigations where it's not so much about you solving the case as much as it is you trying to figure out how the game wants you to solve the case.
Yeah.
And even I've only been in this situation where I've had to basically answer the game's question a couple of times, and I've already had that happen a couple of times. So
no.
I am not. I'm gonna keep playing it, and I will enjoy playing it with Emily and Kate. But I'm waiting for that hook, that thing, to keep me going on. So, what you been playing this week?
I've been playing the thing of looking at Instagram while you're talking.
Yeah, it totally tuning me out.
No, not tuning. I can do both. Well, I'm just looking at pictures. It's not like I'm reading text. So I guess Linda Headley from Game of Thrones, she's been secretly tweeting spoilers about Game of Thrones, and people are kind of pissed off at her about that. So I guess she...
How can you be secretly tweeting spoilers?
Well, you know the Red Viper?
Yeah.
What happens to him? And that just happened to him this week?
It's called the book! Can you really spoil something that exists in another medium?
I know. So I guess she had tweeted a photo of herself jokingly gouging out the eyes of the Red Viper guy. Like this, this is like weeks ago before the show actually, before the episode aired. And now, of course, people looking back at her like, oh, she's making a reference to what happens to that dude in that episode. And I guess she also just tweeted a picture of a stone heart of a little heart made of stones. And everyone's like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen in the future in Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
I just
Yeah,
love that
because
people
we're
are pissed off.
rapidly reaching. We are rapidly reaching like beyond the books.
Yeah, and they're talking about they're actually getting like the show's junking a lot of the fluff that people complain about the kind of middle books kind of being filled with, and so yeah, it's in the next season they're gonna kind of be caught up.
Oh man.
So they're specifically talking about Jon Snow's story.
Yeah.
There's not a lot left for them to like really stall with. Like there's already a couple of characters where it's already kind of like, well, what now?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Annie, wait, hold on. I have to clear my throat. Annie, did you watch Game of Thrones this week?
Nice catch.
Okay,
nice catch.
It was pretty fucked up though. It was worth watching just for that fight between the Red Viper and the. As you can tell from everyone flipping out about it on Twitter and social media and stuff like that.
I've been listening to the song "Let Me Clear My Throat" on a loop for about the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's something about talk about hooks. That hook has gotten my brain.
I never heard that song before.
When this
that
is
was not that was not conscious reference.
You need to. It's been in my mind.
Is that a recent song?
No, it's like mid '90s, late.
It's like Cole Porter.
It's exactly like Cole Porter, my friend. Bill, tell me about Tomodachi Life. I heard there ain't no quiz in it.
Man, Annie, you're totally not getting married to Foley in this game. That's kind of a heartbreaker.
Damn it.
So yeah, Tomodachi Life is a new Nintendo game. This is the game that people pissed off a couple weeks ago because they found out that you couldn't. There's no same-sex marriage in the game. But it's all it really is. Just it's Nintendo's version of The Sims, except instead of Sims, it's their little Mii characters.
Yeah.
And you can either create Mii characters from scratch or import them from like from your 3DS or even from your Wii U.
Yeah.
And so I've imported most of the people I know. No one's gotten married or no one's fallen in love yet. Some people are bros. You're really good friends with my friend Daniel from Japan. Who's one of the first. Like him being in Japan, he played the game like 2 years ago, so he can share your Mii's through QR codes that you can post to Twitter, and so I'm importing people that way. And yeah, you are now. I've trained you to sing a love ballad, and your house is all country western themed.
Thank you.
And you were specifically your Mii was specifically requesting a clothing change. And so the only Western themed clothing I could find was like a knotted belly shirt and cowboy boots and little Daisy Duke shorts.
All right.
And so I think that's what you were. I think that's the outfit you were wearing when I
was wondering about that.
When I taught your character a love ballad song, which then your character goes to the local opera hall and sings. And you get to see a little 5-minute thing of like your character like singing and stuff. And yeah, no, it really is just The Sims. If you want to play the Nintendo version of The Sims on your 3DS, that's what this is. And yeah, supposedly if you buy the game, you get 2 codes that you can share with friends so they can download a demo of the game. And yeah, I'll totally let you have one so you can play it on the go.
That's awesome.
When you're on vacation, but yeah, it's cute. You know what? Actually, one of the cool things is there's a shit ton of not voice acting in the game, but there's a lot of voice synth in the game. All the characters, rather than speaking in text or like in the Animal Crossing where it kind of does that fake, like all the characters talk. Like you talk, like Annie, you would be like, "Can you buy me a hamburger?" And so, like, okay, I'll go get you a hamburger. You know what? I'm so fucking glad, too, because your character loves steak.
Excellent.
This is one of the things, your characters you always have to feed your characters. You kind of have to manage them, kind of like you have to do, like, in Sims. Sure. Although I don't think it's not nearly as detailed. I don't think it, like, they don't have to worry about using the bathroom or anything.
Okay, good.
But yeah, and so there's a little restaurant, and you can buy a shitload of food and feed them to everybody, and everyone has their own favorite food preferences and stuff. And so far, the steak has been your character's favorite thing.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's Tomodachi Life.
That's excellent, Bill. I'm glad you're having a good time.
So it's like if people can have babies and stuff like that, then
well, that's why people were so mad about not having gay marriage, is that it actually inhibits your ability to play the game.
That's actually from Nintendo's point of view. I could see that is not an easy fix, assuming they do have a Tomodachi Life 2 with gay marriage. Oh, I guess couples you could just say they adopt.
Yeah.
But if the babies are supposed to carry forth any kind of aspects of the parents. That wouldn't make sense with adopted kids, but I don't know.
Do you believe in nature versus nurture?
Oh, that's true too. There's so
Boo.
many gay adopted babies out there.
I'm just saying, my friend.
But yeah, no, it's a cute game. Yeah, and the other funny thing is I practically got the game for free because when I bought my Wii U, I got they're like if you bought the black Wii U, you became enrolled automatically in a program for like every $5 you spent on software with the Wii U,
Uh-huh.
you got like a certain percentage of that money back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd gotten like a good $30 back from like, which is funny because I had not purchased. There's barely anything out for the Wii U, so it's not like I'd purchased that much. But just by virtue of the fact that I've purchased like 3 or 4 games was just enough that I essentially had a $30 credit. So I essentially got Tomodachi Life for free. Because I guess the credit was even though I accrued that credit on the Wii U, it was you can use it on the 3DS too. So, but yeah, no, it's a good game.
I'm glad they're doing that cross stuff because I know for a while there was like this weird separation between Nintendo sales.
Completely arbitrary. Yeah, I think actually it was just within the last year they finally merged the two like ecosystems. So you essentially have one account across both systems.
That's one of those things that seems totally logical from a consumer perspective, but I can see why they had to drag their feet on it from a programming perspective. Yeah. So good on them for catching up.
Oh, the way you share images from Tomodachi Life is crazy archaic, where you have to like start exporting a file, and yet then you have to go to like the 3DS's web browser to a very specific site to upload your picture to Twitter and all this crazy. There's no in-game way to easily just like take a picture of something, and just share it. Like you have to. It's. But at least Nintendo's getting slightly better.
Yeah. Pardon me, my cat is fussing. Chill out, baby. Chill out.
She's in your lap?
She's won't get in my lap.
Oh, she's lonely. Yeah, so for people who don't know, for people who don't care, you're going to hear about it anyway. Annie accidentally locked her cat in the garage last night. Her cat's super lonely and desperate for attention now, especially because now the cat smells differently and the other cat doesn't want to play with it?
Yeah, because she was in the garage all night. I don't know what she smells like, but Orange does not like it. Orange is hissing and screaming at Bailey every time she walks by, so...
Orange is also a little bitch, too.
This is true. I love her, but this is true. Hey, Bill, tell me about the amazing world of Gumball.
Oh, Amazing World of Gumball. Did I mention this before on the podcast, how I'm doing work for Boom Studios on the comic book version of The Amazing World of Gumball?
No.
The Amazing World of Gumball is another Cartoon Network show like Adventure Time, a regular show, that Boom Studios, the same company that is making the Adventure Time comic, they're also turning that into a comic book, too. Mm-hmm. And so they got in touch with me a couple weeks ago to ask me if I would contribute to the comic, and I said, yeah, sure. I'm not doing actually any specific comic strips. I'm doing some fake in-world Amazing World of Gumball advertisements for companies within the world of the Amazing World of Gumball.
Oh, that's kind of great.
And the best part is this week they sent me the style guide. I never even knew the show existed until these guys asked me to work on this thing. And they sent me the style guide for the show. And it's great, it shows you how to, like, draw the characters and, like, gives you the biography of all the characters and stuff and kind of, like, shows you, like, it gives you the different color palettes. Yeah, it essentially shows you how to create, like, perfect licensed artwork, like, in accordance with the show style. But half of it just really, it's very cutely written, where most of it is just, like, funny gags about the stories in the universe. It almost, like, reads like a comic in of itself. Yeah. Even though this is just like a guide that the show's creators supposed to put out for licensees, just so like the characters and everything will look correct as to what they're supposed to look like in the show, and that's fucking hilarious. Except Boom Studios, they didn't have like, for my ads, I wanted to use like the official World of Gumball fonts and everything like that in my advertisements. What it looks like, that stuff. For some reason, Boom Studios they didn't have the fonts and stuff, so this is completely accidental. But this week. This is related. This is a little bit of a Shaggy Dog story, but also this week, Steve Lieber, friend of the podcast, has never heard of us, never listened to us, friend of the podcast still. I'm going to claim that. A famous comic book author, artist. He was this week doing a YouTube live stream showing him inking some pages from Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And so he loves to interact with 4chan. Mm-hmm. About his stuff, and so he was doing like kind of like a YouTube Q&A with 4chan, and I wanted to see what the questions they were asking him. So I went to 4chan, the comics and cartoon board on 4chan, and while trying to look for this thread where he was getting his questions and answers from for this YouTube stream, I found there was an Amazing World of Gumball thread on 4chan, which that in itself should have been the warning: do not click.
Yeah.
Amazing World of Gumball thread on 4chan. because I was like, maybe these guys have the fonts because I
Oh,
saw they were
Bill.
posting fan art and stuff, and they did. It was just funny that 4chan actually had some official World of Gumball assets that I couldn't find from the actual licensees of the Amazing World of Gumball. These were the
Wow.
people producing pornography. Oh, of course, it's totally World of Gumball Rule 34.
Ugh.
Holy shit. So World of Gumball, the main character of the World of Gumball is this 10-year-old cat named Gumball, and his best friend is a goldfish, and they have adventures together.
I don't know if I want to hear the rest of the sentence.
His mom is a very nice blue cat lady who 4chan has completely fixated. I should have seen this coming, but 9/10 of this thread was just everyone just trading their Gumball's mom fan art of just I'm trying to be I don't want to drive any crazy on the podcast even describing some of the stuff I saw. It was pretty amazing. The terrible thing is a lot of the artwork is fucking fantastic too.
Oh yeah.
We're looking at the style guide, I'm like, these guys are actually better than they're better than me. And I've been asked to officially work on this stuff. And like I said, these guys had fonts and assets and stuff I couldn't actually get from the Amazing World of Gumball people. So there's kind of a funny situation, but it's a cute show. That's more my point is.
Was it unrelated? Did you request these fonts, or was it just organically on this thread?
No, I requested the fonts and they didn't have them.
No. On the 4chan thread.
I know. I requested and they had them.
Okay, I didn't know if you were just looking at the thread oh, by the way, here's some fonts for you.
Yeah. So if you ever see my
Legos, Bailey, fuck you.
She just knocked over your Legos?
Yeah. The town of Benton has been decimated.
Oh, which Legos did she knock over?
Let's see. I haven't named them all yet. She knocked over this guy, Beardy Joe, and one of the sheriff's dudes.
Have you started your Lego wiki yet?
I started it, and then I fell down the rabbit hole of wiki alteration.
Oh, that's the other thing that happened to me this week. I got the Legos Ghostbusters kit.
Oh, did it arrive?
Yeah, it just came yesterday. I'm so excited, man. I'm tempted to spend the rest of the afternoon actually doing any work and just putting together Lego stuff.
Foley got me a new...
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, Foley got me a new Lego set, and the rule is I have to do the yard because I got a $40 goddamn Lego set just so that I can get these two pieces primarily and some other pieces I can use.
She must be so happy that she's found something she can twist against you in order to get you to do housework.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, it's expensive and messy, which is her two
You know what? With Lego stuff, there could be so much worse stuff in the world that you could be into.
For example, whiskey. So it's
I know. That's what I'm saying. What's the new set that you got you?
It's a Lego movie set that's what the fuck is it called? It's three citizens of Lego World fighting against a micromanager. So Foley's excited because she starts a new job on Monday, and so now she has a micromanager for her desk to go with her. And I'm excited because I got Root Beer Bell, or whatever the hell her name is, and Dude McGee, who can be my two Benton Knights. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, because I just, you know what, actually just on Friday I got the new Lego catalog too. And they have a new Lego... I'm trying to see...
There should be the new Chima sets in there!
There's new Chima sets, and also, man, you know what, the thing that got me excited? This really is slowly turning into a Lego podcast.
Yeah.
Is that there's a new line which I'd never heard of before called Mixels?
Yeah.
Which are... Wait, so you've seen these before?
Bill, I remember I've fallen very far down the Lego rabbit hole.
Well, look at this stuff. People not listening to the audio and not watching the video don't give a shit. But they're like little goofy, little characters. They're not like little people, but they're like little monsters.
Yeah.
And they're only like $5 a piece. Which for Lego is actually fucking, they're practically giving them away for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
But that's I saw that and I was like, oh shit. I'm trying to see if there's what the new Chima stuff is. So wait, so you're new with...
There are woolly mammoths and saber-toothed lions and panther lady, I think.
Oh wait, so you
vultures.
Your new kit, is it the Trash Chomper?
No.
So featuring Garbage Man Grant and Garbage Man Dan?
No, it is not actually.
Okay.
Welcome to our Lego corner, everybody.
Yeah. You know what, Annie? You got to get your hands on the Metalbeard's Duel. With just Metal Beard just fighting a micromanager. It's
I,
$35.
I saw that at the store yesterday, and it was kind of great. Nope, see, that won't fit. No pieces of that will work in Benton, in my
Oh,
small
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well.
Benton. I'm very specific here, buddy.
Well. Okay, I'm gonna stop looking at this catalog.
Hey,
Okay,
everybody!
yeah.
Believe it or not, we're gonna take a little break. Believe it or not, that wasn't our little break, and we're gonna be coming back and talking about that Geek Week in review.
We'll blow your minds.
Bill, I have to go get some water, but while I go, you need to look up "Let Me Clear My Throat" on YouTube. I'll be right back. That's my instructions.
Okay, I'll go look that up. Okay. Let me clear my throat. Oh. This better be the Blurred Lines of 2014. Let's see. Let me clear my throat. Hello to everyone watching us on break. Also, I need to see. Okay, so this is at the 54-minute mark. Okay, I'm going to write that down for editing purposes. Because it's always a bitch to figure out where we actually took the break. 50 more minutes. Okay, now to watch this goddamn video Andy's talking about. Is Bismarcky? Oh, no, it's an advertisement. So anyway, how's everyone doing at home while I'm waiting for this ad? Oh, shit. Whoa. So I just found out that if you rip out the headphone jack on your headphones while recording GarageBand stops recording. I'm glad I figured that out before we actually recorded the rest of the podcast. Okay. Oh, and I was going to play this for everyone watching us, but I can't play it because I've got my headphones on, and if I disconnect my headphones, the GarageBand stops recording again. Wait, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll make that sacrifice.
All the way live from New York City, just a bit more better, I can get busy. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. You know that I can do with the mic in my hand. You know that I can make this
Okay, so that's a taste of Let Me Clear My Throat, as suggested that we listen to by Annie Maloney. She cray-cray. She's super cray-cray. Man, she's taking a long time to get some water. What the fuck? Hello, are you the one I've been waiting for? To come back from getting water so we can record the rest of the podcast. Oh, na, 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 na. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, Grumpy Turtle. Of course, if his favorite part of the podcast is Bill reading a Lego catalog, it is really like a live reenactment of Bill on the toilet. Jacob Dahl, hello to you. Jonathan Santiago once you go black Wii U, you can never go back Wii U because you get 10% eShop money's back. Yes. Did many people even like watching this? Do you guys even have Wii U's? I don't know how much you guys even give a shit about us talking about Wii U stuff. Not that we talk about the Wii U that often. Oh, I forgot to mention that I've been playing Mario Kart this week. Now there's not a hell of a lot to say about Mario Kart. Guess what? I raced around in circles for another couple hours this week. Oh man, I do have a Muppet across the room and I can't get up to go grab it. Truly, this is the worst Holocaust anyone's ever encountered. How's everyone doing this weekend? It's beautiful in Portland this week. Then again, I think half the people listening to us are actually in Portland, so I don't need to tell you. Right, Annie? How you doing? Right, Annie? Annie, I love you.
So I forgot to take my pills this morning, and I went to the kitchen to get a beverage. And
your goiter got really huge today?
Hey, Bill.
Yeah!
I went to the kitchen to get my pills, and I was thinking about something, not really paying attention. I take a pill and a half, crack open the container, take a pill, split in half. I'm literally about to put it in my mouth when I realize it's Foley's industrial painkillers from her dental surgery.
You should have taken them anyway. Come on, that would have been fantastic.
I don't know if it'd make it easier or harder to do the Boy Howdy podcast.
It could not hurt at all. You know what? Actually, I ripped out my headphone jack to let everyone listen to Let Me Clear My Throat, but that made me stop recording the podcast. So
no!
No, I didn't lose my GarageBand recording. It just stopped. And so if you don't mind, I want to do another clap before we start recording the rest of the podcast.
Sure.
So hold on. I'm going to actually... Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm going to make sure that the first half recorded okay before I record.
Sure. Haley, chill. Chill out. Chill out, kid.
Okay,
Settle.
so that did record. Okay. Okay, so you want to record in 1, 2, 3 again?
Sure.
Okay.
So on the count of 3, Bailey is going to stick her butt on the microphone. All
Yes.
right. On the count of 3, I'm going to snap, all right?
Okay, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, I've started recording. And just if you want to do a clap snap.
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Not even close, but as long as we start recording at the same time, it should be.
Hey, on my end, I was right on time, my friend.
I know. So, what are you drinking?
Dr. Pepper.
You and your Dr. Pepper.
I'm a real Texan, Bill.
So Daniel Rudis, he says, I gave your me, presumably Bill's me, and Tomodachi Life, brown ice cream hat, so it looks like poo because I'm mature. Yeah, no,
Right.
A couple of my Tomodachis have specifically asked me to buy them hats, and I keep on buying them this white ice cream hat, which essentially just like puts on like a Dairy Queen swirl of ice cream on their heads.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it. I'm so pissed. I keep on dressing people up. Dylan's character specifically requested a very expensive mermaid costume, which that's not Dylan at all. It's...
I don't know, Bill. Have you ever bought her an expensive mermaid costume?
That's
you don't know
true.
how she'd react.
I'll have to find a $138 mermaid costume and just that's what she's getting for her birthday this year. See how she reacts.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it, Production Life.
All right, friends. It's time for the Geek Week in Review. Did you know that Lupita, I'm going to say her surname wrong, Nyong'o, and Brienne of Tarth are going to be in a Star Wars.
Woo! So 2 more ladies in Star Wars.
The embroadening of Star Wars.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm kind of wondering...
Star Wars set leaks. So...
What?
Hi! Are we really out of sync right now?
I think we may have just fallen out of sync there for a minute.
Yeah, we're way out of sync then. Hi.
Oh my god. What happened to us? Poor Pinos. Away.
Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Yeah?
what?
Okay, I think we're better again.
Yeah, we just had a little burp there. Okay.
All right. Well,
At least. Okay. Hey, Annie. Guess what? 1, 2, 3. Hi.
Wait. Give me a little more warning there, dude.
Okay. Well. Okay. If you're confused enough by that, then we are in sync. You wanted to start? Okay. You want to start Geek Week Review again? I think we kind of flipped that up 3 ways to Sunday.
Okay. Now that we're a little more in sync, let me start again.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, everybody! It's time for the Geek Week in Review.
Yes.
Here's the ongoing onslaught of Star Wars news.
Again! This is like the 4th week in a row. I promise this would not turn into this Star Wars news.
Every time there's like a glimmer of a glimmer. Yeah.
It's good news, though. It's more ladies in Star Wars.
Yes. So in Star Wars Broads news, Lupita Nyong'o, I apologize right now for saying your name wrong, probably, and Brienne of Tarth are going to be in Star Wars.
Which technically, calling her Brienne of Tarth is even a far more fucked up pronunciation of her name. By virtue of the fact that we're not even trying to pronounce her. Was it Gwendolyn Christie? Is that her name? Yeah, they're both going to be in Star Wars. Lupita Nyong'o being the super badass lady from 12 Years a Slave. I like her just because she's stringy and she's small. But she's got, like, a great face.
That's all it takes for Bill.
And Brienne of Tarth is Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
And she's going to be Star Wars. I'm kind of curious to see, I mean, they've already started filming, so these characters probably unless they were cast in for some reason decided to delay the announcement of them being cast for a long time. I would imagine that they're probably not playing super central characters or anything.
At least not in the first movie.
Oh, shut your face! Turns out everyone dies at the end of the first one, and suddenly
That's right.
it's the adventures of Lupita Nyong'o and Brienne of Tarth.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Talking with Jimmy and Conley last night, Jimmy's convinced that Adam Driver, the big tall guy from Inside Llewyn Davis, who does the space song, outer space. Because he's a big, tall, ugly guy, he's convinced that the only use they would have for him is to put him in a Wookiee suit, and then he would be playing Chewbacca's son. And of course, my response was, well, Brienne of Tarth is like 8 feet tall. How do you know she's not going to play a Wookiee? And
How do you know they're both not going to be Wookiees?
How do we not know? You know
Maybe
what?
we eventually find out that they're long-lost twins.
No, what we're going to find out, the new Star Wars movie, it turns out 35 years is just long enough for everyone to evolve into Wookiees. So everyone's going to play... It's going to be the weirdest, like, some people have fully turned into Wookiees, other people only have, like, Wookiee noses, and...
Bill, have you read my erotic fan fiction? Are you taking notes from my erotic fan fiction?
Man, I love...
Wookie Nookie parts 1 through 87.
You know, this is gonna be a perfect opportunity for Weird Al to revisit his Gangster's Paradise parody and turn it into Wookiee Paradise.
No, wait, hold on. It should be Looky Looky, Wookiee's Getting Nookie, parts 1 through 87. That's my erotic fan fiction.
I want Brienne of Tarth to play. What are the colored girls with the head tentacles?
Twi'leks?
Yeah, I want her to play.
By the way. How did I know that and you didn't?
How did you? I think I would have remembered if you give me 5 minutes, but yeah, how did you know that off the top of your head?
Jesus, dude. I just out-nerded you on Star Wars.
You're playing like minifigures.
That's it. Again...
I want Brienne of Tarth to play the tallest, just most pissed off, angriest, not even angry, but just sullen Twilight slave girl who's just like dressed in a potato sack and just glowering at everybody.
I was looking at a bunch of movie trailers yesterday, and one of them was actually Adam Driver, tall dude, and Daniel Radcliffe in a rom-com. Obviously not romantically entangled, they were best bros.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was just like, that was Harry Potter and whoever, maybe Chewbacca's son from Star Wars, alright.
Yeah. Two really goony-looking guys on a sexy adventure.
Two very differently goony-looking guys.
I know, yeah. And so, Jimmy and Conley then brought up, what if... Well, you haven't seen the Clone Wars yet, so you don't care about this, but in the Clone Wars cartoon, the people who invented Boba Fett's his outfit, like that, the kind of like that armor stuff, they're called Mandalorians. But they're all super
called Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, exactly. But they're all super tall, blonde people, and they're like, maybe she's playing Mandalorian, so she's again going to be playing some lady warrior in big crazy armor and stuff like that, which that would be great too. But who knows what the fuck? But yeah, so more Star Wars talk.
Hey, more. I really, the less I know about Star Wars, the better, but more broads, the better. I'm down for that.
You know what? They probably actually hired her as a money-saving thing because she's so tall. She's tall enough, so whenever they have to film the Millennium Falcon, they don't have to build all the Millennium Falcon. They just have her stand in front of most of where it should be.
Oh! Speaking of J.J. Abrams, the one thing I did do this week, because while Foley was sick, she watched all the movies, I finally saw Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh, no, what happened?
Well, I gotta tell you that as a person who barely gives any shits about Star Trek, but really likes Star Wars, I thought it was fun. It was a fun, goofy good time.
It is fine to like a Star Trek J.J. Abrams movie. It's not like you're gonna get, beset upon by people with torches or anything.
Everyone hated it, so that's why I was like...
It's funny because I just watched it again this week too, and it is not. It's an okay movie. It's not a very good Star Trek movie if you're a Star Trek fan because it's just well, because
it's an episode of a Star Wars TV show. That's what it is.
Yeah, it actually kind of is. Yeah. That's
what it is. Because watching it, I'm like, damn, I felt like that was more of an addition for Star Wars than it was a Star Trek.
Well, even when they have that little like trading ship that they're trying to escape from the Klingons in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a little hockey puck shaped ship, and it's like flying through like mountains like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I know that I am not allowed to have these sorts of opinions because I'm not a Trek nerd, but
No, that's fine.
I liked the Klingon design. I thought that was pretty good.
I think which is funny because like technically they could still exist when the old Star Trek canon.
Yeah.
They just look a little more lizard-like.
Yeah. I thought it was a nice bridge between the old Star Trek canon and like the next generation sort of.
Well, one of the things people have complained about that movie, even aside from Star Trek, fandom aside, is the female characters. The fact that they turn Uhura into just a whiny girlfriend, and the blonde chick is only there just for the one scene where she takes her pants off. Yeah. Did you care about that?
I'm the worst feminist in the world.
Okay. I don't know if that's anything that triggered for you or anything like that. Or
sometimes shitty female characters do really bother me, but at the end of the day, I am a recovering misogynist, and it's very easy for me to just casually slip into bro mode.
Okay.
And that was a movie where I totally just kicked right into bro mode gear.
Does not hurt that those two ladies are also very attractive, so it's not like, I'm just saying misogyny is only correct if it's for ugly women.
I'm just saying that Chris Pine is a beautiful young man, and I love Carl Urban's scowl. It makes me so happy. I really want Carl Urban in a Star Wars. I want him to be some sort of
He would be a perfect fit for that universe. If you're going to take anybody from the Star Trek movies and put them in a Star Wars,
I want him to be in some sort of practical, like, alien, head.
Would you cover him up with alien stuff?
I would have his face free for expression. I want to see him mean mug, but
I just want to show him he actually gets he's playing McCoy. He just doesn't know what's going on. He's just more like, oh my god, what the fuck is this shit? No, yeah, Star Trek Into Darkness.
I enjoyed it more than the first one.
Did you like Benedict Cumberbatch?
I thought he was a totally fine villain. I thought he did a good job.
I don't think anything else about what happens in that movie. Oh, there's 72 missiles.
Yeah.
And there's 9/11 imagery, and there's a big ship that blows up the other ship, and then Kirk he die, and Spock's angry.
It really felt like a kind of middling episode of a TV show.
Yeah. Man, it's got Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah, it had fuck, I can't remember. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. I liked the primitive alien race at the start of the movie.
Oh, yeah,
it was mostly practical and shit.
That's the thing. Hardcore Star Trek fans shit on J.J. Abrams, but he did a good job of making two Star Trek movies that are entertaining to normal people.
And that's the thing.
And that in itself is a minor miracle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he makes Star Trek movies that aren't about talking, and that's hard to do.
Well, that's why so many Star Trek fans are pissed off about this movie, because that's what Star Trek eventually turned into. Is everyone just like
Star Trek is? Yeah. Past the original series, Star Trek is about ideas. It is a series of ideas and values. And so it's interesting to watch that movie with Foley, though, because Foley is a Trek nerd, and she's not a big Star Wars person, but she likes Trek, and she likes that movie because it dealt with the idea of early Starfleet dealing with the conflict between a militaristic and exploratory institution.
That is one thing they do very much pay voice to is, well, that's what Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah.
He quits he essentially quits the movie early on because he's like, we're explorers, and they actually, he puts that whole thing into very specific.
More importantly, the Starfleet uniform, the dress uniform, I
saw people complain about that because it's so militaristic, and in previous
that
Star
makes
Trek,
sense.
The Star Trek dress uniforms is usually like a dress with gold lame with like a flower and like a fucking feather sticking out of like a looped hat or something. It's like fruity weird shit. Yeah.
To me, in that moment, it made sense if a person was trying to drive it in one direction, and if they had any sort of sway, that this would be the moment where it stops being consciously militarily driven and turns into something different.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
Though. I like when the Enterprise is flipping upside down and everyone's flying around and it's all like...
It's a fun, dumb popcorn sci-fi movie, which again is what I want more of. And if I can get a Star Wars that's that, I'm quite happy with that.
Did you was the Kirk's dying scene was that affecting?
Because
that it's an inversion of everyone's most the most emotionally potent old Star Trek moment of Spock dying. So I don't know if Kirk dying had as much of a charge for you as the original version did for everyone else.
I here's the thing about those movies. I really like Kirk. Spock just bounces right off of me.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. But it's Kirk dying.
Yeah, so what I'm that scene too. I really thought that Chris Pine does a really good job of those movies. It's just
You just don't care about Spock's reaction though.
Man, do not. As soon as he became the Spock show, I was like,
it does turn into Spock's vengeance hour after he dies. Yeah, so it would have been just as fine for you if Kirk were dying and he reached his hands out to the glass and there was no one there, but he still had the same scene. He just kind of talked to himself.
Not quite, but close. Yeah. So,
okay.
Anyway, but yeah, the whole time
I'm glad you watched Annie. Regardless of what Star Trek fans think of that movie, I'm glad that you able to watch a Star Trek movie and you had a good time.
It was perfectly goofy, good fun, but most importantly, it made me excited for Star Wars, because I was like, J.J. Abrams, you know what? If he can do this for a property that he admittedly is not a huge nerd for, I can only hope that, and like I said, it feels like practice Star Wars.
I'm going to be curious to see how, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Because when
he actually cares about the material.
When people who worship a material are allowed, and that material is formative to them, are allowed to play with it, it is either really great or really bad. And
did you see Super 8? Because I have a whole thing about J.J. Abrams and how I'm kind of worried about that.
Because I know that was something that you did not like what he did with something that he was dedicated
to. I don't doubt his enthusiasm for the materials, like either like Star Wars or like Spielberg stuff, like what he did with Super 8. It's just he fucked up Super 8 where he got some of the basic tonal stuff completely wrong in a really weird way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Who knows what he'll do with stuff.
Well, here's my counterpoint to that.
Yeah.
What J.J. Abrams proved he can do with Star Trek really, really well is that he can do goofy, fun ensemble archetype.
That's at least he has a feel for that. You saw Mission Impossible 3?
Yeah. I liked it.
It's a great fucking action movie.
Yeah.
Even everyone keeps on talking about Super 8 or Star Trek. If you just told me if I didn't know who directed Mission Impossible 3, if you just told me he was doing a Star Wars, I think at least from an action character point of view would be pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't know.
So this kind of takes us to our next bit of Star Wars news, and then we'll move on to other business. Star Wars set leaks this week showed a Tatooine trading port, a giant pig monster, and the Millennium Falcon being built.
Did you also see that, like, J.J. Abrams crudely photoshopped him into every picture with a hammer and nails, pretending that he was building it all by himself?
I did really like J.J. Abrams' response to these leaks.
You know what? That was just as cute as anything else, yeah.
What's really funny is that the first time I saw it, I didn't get it. I was like, that's weird.
Well, no, you have to be that much of a nerd to be, yeah, exactly.
Well, the second time I looked at it, I was like,
you're like,
So yes, J.J. Abrams' response was to write a little note to post to Instagram. The story is like, I hate it when people have these, like, come up with these spurious rumors, like the Millennium Falcon is in Star Wars, and it's on his stationery sitting on the holo chest.
Yeah, which is very cute. I wonder if actually they only put it on the holochess table, because it looks like, assuming those set leak pictures were actually like recent, like within the last week, it looks like they're still just in the middle of building the Millennium Falcon. So, they're also, the interesting thing is they are filming all the interiors too. So it's not just going to be like people standing outside of. It seems like the Millennium Falcon's actually going to have a big.
set.
It's going to be a big thing in the movie, which we haven't really seen much of the Millennium Falcon since actually The Empire Strikes Back. The Millennium Falcon only showed up for a couple minutes in Return of the Jedi, and when it was a matte painting from the outside. That was the other thing too, because back when George Lucas started making The Empire Strikes Back, he thought he was going to make a shitload of Star Wars sequels, not just 2, and so that's why he built like a full-size Millennium Falcon replica. Because he thought the cost for building that would be offset by the fact that like they're going to make like 5 or 6 movies that you're going to require the Millennium Falcon for, and they only really used that Millennium Falcon for The Empire Strikes Back. They actually built it so it could be disassembled into like 10 pieces and put into storage and brought back out and reassembled very quickly. And even for Return of the Jedi, they only had one scene that wound up being a deleted scene where they used. They only used part of that Millennium Falcon set, and so I'm assuming it looks like they're building the whole set again. So I'm assuming like you'll be seeing a lot of the Millennium Falcon throughout the next 3 movies. But
I'm just excited. The more practical shit, the better.
Well, that's the other thing too. So they got a whole Millennium Falcon. They're building the whole interior of the Falcon. And the desert set. Yeah, it's a whole trading port. Yeah, did you see like the big pig monster?
I really am trying to go into Star Wars seeing and knowing as little as possible, which I may as well just get off the internet for the next couple of years.
You know, the weird thing is the pig monster does have a lightsaber.
That's a really good joke, Bill. I liked that
He
one.
does have a sign around his neck that says "Son of Skywalker," which is super cryptic, and people are trying to figure out what does that. No, but yeah, it's like a little Tatooine trading port. The other thing too is there's a big gate for this Tatooine trading market that is directly taken from an old piece of Ralph McQuarrie art for like when he was designing Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's taken straight from there. And in the same soundstage that they're building the Millennium Falcon, it seems like they're also building a new X-wing fighter type ship.
Yeah.
And it's definitely at first everyone thought it was a Millennium Falcon, but if you look at it, technically it's not the Millennium Falcon. It's a different kind of ship. It's if you actually look at it, it's more designed off of the prototype Millennium Falcon, or not Millennium Falcon, X-wing prototype paintings that Ralph McQuarrie did before the models were built. It's a little more sleek and has like 2 big fat engines instead of 4 little engines on the side. And so I guess that's going to be. It's funny they're taking this prototype X-wing design from Ralph McQuarrie stuff and kind of it seems to be that's going to be the next generation X-wing fighter. Spoilers for Star Wars. There's X-wing fighters and Millennium Falcons and pig monsters. That's it. So. Yeah,
and I really wish if I could do anything, it would be that I could just like freeze myself for a year and a half.
I know.
Wake up in that seat and just open my eyes and watch a new Star Wars.
The funny thing is, like, because I stopped I stopped emotionally investing in anything beyond the original trilogy. That up until this week. Even with the great casting news and stuff like that, I was like, "That's great," but really, this is all this new Star Wars can ever be to me is just elaborate fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like I'll go see it, and I'll be entertained, but I'm not really getting emotionally invested in it.
Yeah.
But knowing that it's so stupid. But knowing that they're actually building a Millennium Falcon got me where I'm like, oh shit.
I know. Yeah.
There's a chance this could be actual good Star Wars again.
It's like
it's not logical at all. It doesn't make any sense whether or not Millennium Falcon's in there or not. It makes good Star Wars, but
it's fan fiction catering too, my friends.
It's just tugged on the heartstrings just enough that I actually wound up watching Return of the Jedi again this week for the first time, probably actually since the whole news of George Lucas selling Star Wars to Disney and the news of the sequel trilogy happening. This is the first time I've watched it since all that news broke.
Yeah.
And for the first time I'm watching, I'm like, because I remember watching Star Wars as a kid. It was charged with the knowledge that Lucas said he would always go back and make the prequels.
Right. Yeah.
I'm wondering like what everything's gonna be like. Like, oh, I wonder like how Obi-Wan Kenobi got that lightsaber. Now watching Return of the Jedi with the knowledge that they're filming sequels right now, it's charged in a different way. Where you're like, they're somewhere in the world right now. Han Solo is playing that character right now. They're building the Millennium Falcon again. Like it's like this is not the last time that you're going to see these characters playing this role. And it's charged in a different way. So
yeah.
It's
Bill.
And yeah, I found myself getting emotionally invested and being kind of like, eh. So
that's
a dangerous thing to be any kind of fan for any kind of movie project. But yeah, anyway. So
it's always a miracle when big things and big projects that involve a lot of money turn out good. So
anyway,
let's all hope.
That is yet another 20 minutes of this week in Star Wars news that we really shouldn't have had. But
in other Geek Week news, believe it or not, there is some non-Star Wars Geek Week news.
Yeah.
The Last of Us guys are officially in charge of Uncharted 4. As Bill jokes, that probably means we'll get to pet giraffes and yaks.
That sounds like it's supposed to be a rap lyric that rhymes, but...
Yes, so there was an interview this week with Evan Wells, I want to say.
One of the founders of Naughty Dog.
Yeah, the 2 Naughty Dog bosses, and they were asked about the Uncharted 4 situation, and they confirmed that Bruce Staley and Neil are officially working on...
Can we say friends of the podcast just because we were in the same room with them at PAX?
I looked them in the eyes and told them how important their games are to me, and I started crying.
And you were vibrating at the same time, just
pretty much. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I can't help but feel apprehensive about Uncharted without Amy Hennig, but these guys, I'm curious to see what they do.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see what this means for any kind of Last of Us. Well, I don't know what the second team at at Uncharted is, or not at Uncharted, Naughty Dog is, because
Did
that
you
was
read the article, or did you
no.
just read the byline? Because
I
the
read
whole
the
thing,
byline.
one of the things they talk about in that article is this myth of the multi-team thing, and he's like, we have a lot of projects going, and people switch. Can I help you? People switch from project to project all the time. We don't really, I mean, there's always stuff going. We don't really have this whole, resources shift all the time. So
Well, they did have two teams. I mean, it was the secondary team that did Uncharted 3.
What I am telling you, my friend, is what the founders of Naughty Dog said in this
Which
article.
I'm fine with Naughty Dog being a single team company. That means you're only going to get a game every 5 years from those guys, but that's fine too. I'm not.
But I think the point they're trying to say is it's not like there is a barrier down the company that splits people into Team 1 and Team 2.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I'd be fine with Uncharted with Naughty Dog just being kind of like Neil Druckmann company, but I don't know.
After almost 10 years, Sony is finally retiring the PSP.
Yeah, Jesus. I thought, it's terrible. I think what happened is they discontinued sales in the United States, and I just assumed that meant it was discontinued altogether. But yeah, in Japan it finally just got discontinued.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been almost 10 years.
Man, I gotta power up my Vita for my trip.
Do you not have a PSP?
We did have
that you dropped in the toilet?
I dropped it in your toilet actually, and destroyed it. And that's when we got our Vita. Foley's like, do not take this near any toilets, thank you. Any listeners out there, if y'all have any recommendations of games I should play for Vita, I know there are a few visual novels on there. I need to try some of those. I would like to play some more Persona 3 while we're on our vacation, but please feel free to hit us up and let us know. Either Twitter at us or use our contact form at boyhowdypodcast.com and let me know.
Jonathan Santiago points out that Carl Urban in Star Wars would mean that he would be part of the nerd trifecta: Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
So.
And a Dash of Dread.
And a Dash of Dread, yeah. Which I still haven't seen. I need to see that sometime.
Dread's fun. See, Dread's another fun sci-fi movie. I want more fun sci-fi movies.
I need to host like a movie triple feature night of action movies that take place in a apartment complex. You could have Judge Dredd, Attack the Block, and The Raid.
Yep. Oh man, I wanted to see The Raid too. When does that come out? Yeah, watch that shit.
I thought that was at least showing at like part of like the Pacific Northwest Film Festival or something like that. I don't know. I know it's actually been in some cities. It's actually been out, in normal distribution. But yeah. Anyway, what?
Bill notes here: surprise PS4 Last of Us release next week?
Yeah, this is I in the past I had even brought up the idea that Sony could release the PlayStation 4 port of The Last of Us as a surprise during E3, just because they keep on saying it's going to come out this summer. Here it is. It's almost mid-June. No, not really, but it's June, and they still have not said shit about even a release window, aside from sometime this summer, which seems to be kind of weird. And I kind of like that would be a great bomb to drop. Would be like PlayStation 4 right now, the best game released last year is now available.
Yeah.
And there was something, I forgot, it was on NeoGAF or something like that. I think some kind of German website had leaked something about the they had said that the release date of The Last of Us would be, was it June 13th?
Mm-hmm.
And suggesting would be a surprise end of E3 release, which would be great. But if it were just a digital download, I could see Sony being able to do that. But I don't know how you would do that with a retail release. How could you surprise release a game like that?
Apple does it all the time with their products.
Yeah, but Apple can distribute a lot of their stuff at first through their own stores,
Mm-hmm.
whereas with The Last of Us, like, especially if the game's coming out next week.
Yeah.
It would have to already be in retail channels, or at least SKUs would have to be reserved, and
right.
So somebody would have figured it out before now. But yeah, again, if it were just digital download, that's a different story. But yeah, I don't know how you get that out to stores without somebody figuring that out and actually leaking it, confirming it ahead of time. So I still would be perfect. I would love to see that, but yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that feasible, but.
I can't wait to weep uncontrollably, be wrecked by shuddering weeps by Last of Us again.
I'd just be very curious to see what that looks like next gen if it gets that much of a graphics bump.
Yeah.
I'd rather play that over I tried to play more Watch Dogs this week.
Yeah.
Ugh, that game is not terrible. It's just open world stealing cars, climb a tower to unlock special features in that corner of the universe.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Lego excuse me, let me start that sentence again. Lego Lady Scientist sets coming this August. Yeah, so Lego has their ideas project where people can submit suggestions and they will be vetted by Lego and possibly released. This is from which the Ghostbuster set came from, the Minecraft sets came
Yeah,
from.
Lego ideas. Yeah.
Now they're this set of female scientists will be released this fall. Just in time for Conley's wedding, I can get her a Lego paleontologist and dinosaur skeleton. So.
Yeah, so they haven't still specifically mentioned how many of these sets are they going to put out and stuff, but yeah, just Lego female scientist paleontologist.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic thing. I didn't realize till hanging out with Jimmy and Conley last night, I didn't realize they were both really into Jurassic Park, especially Conley.
That their wedding is on the release date of Jurassic Park the book. November 7th is not only N7 Day, it is the release date of Jurassic Park the book.
Yeah, they were talking about that last night. Yeah, Jurassic Park was a pretty good movie, and I love dinosaurs. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hello?
sorry, my Google Hangout picture just went crazy for a second. But yeah, no, I love dinosaurs. I'm still retroactively disappointed because I thought Jurassic Park would be more about giant dinosaurs rampaging,
Mm-hmm.
and you do get a T-Rex eating people. And even in the second Jurassic Park movie, you do get a T-Rex going through like San Diego chasing Japanese tourists, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But it never Jurassic Park movies are never quite. This is the thing where I specifically take something that our listeners, like 2 listeners, love, and go, eh.
I always liked Jurassic Park, and you can go fuck
No, I
yourself.
don't think it's a bad movie or anything like that.
No, I didn't see it till very much later.
Yeah.
So I clicked on the original Lego Ideas submission, and what's great is that this is not just a female scientist minifigure set that they had suggested.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what they're going with, but they had suggested a whole bunch of.
Oh yeah, there's a whole thing. Yeah.
They suggested the astronomer, paleontologist, and chemist, which is what is implied Lego's coming out with. She also submitted a falconer, a geologist, and a robotics engineer.
Yeah.
A zookeeper, a judge, and a mail carrier, and a mechanic, a firefighter, and a construction worker.
Which is funny because most of the ones, the minifigures that are really dressed up like the firefighter and stuff, the only way you can tell they're females is because they have like little eyelashes.
Oh yeah.
Which is great. You know, it's not like they need tits or anything like that. But yeah, no, that's great. They really did propose a very comprehensive lines of female, just badass.
More broads.
Falconry. You got a lady with a little falcon on her arm. Come on.
Yeah.
Who the hell
Pretty
thinks
good.
that? Whoever actually did the Falcon thing, whoever submitted that to Lego, they deserve a goddamn award. That is,
Yep.
Oh my god.
Pretty damn good, my friend.
Have you ever done falconry? You think it'd be worth it just so you could buy a big leather gauntlet?
Oh, have I personally ever done falconry?
Yeah!
I have held a falcon before, both
Yeah.
at zoos, because as a kid, I was a constant consumer of zoos, Renaissance festivals, and theme
Yeah,
parks.
'cause you're a
I have
fucking
interacted
kid.
with a number of falcons in my day, thank you. Also, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas is near Kansas City, where they actually, when I was a kid in Kansas, they had a big movement about having peregrine falcons in Kansas City to control the pigeon population.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if that's still true, but yeah, I had a falcon-rich childhood, actually, Bill.
No.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, I just, for some reason, I'm suddenly reminded of the fact that I get a chance to talk about Sailor Moon in their Geek Week review.
Did you watch Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon's on Hulu right now. Sailor Moon's goddamn cute. I only saw the first episode, but it's pretty cute.
Is this the new Sailor Moon?
No, this is the old Sailor Moon. That's like, I guess it's for the first time presented in the United States, unedited and subtitled.
Mm-hmm.
And why am I bringing it up now? It's cute. Do you have any interest in seeing Sailor Moon?
Anime bounces right off of me.
I know, me too, more or less. But it's just interesting to see the genesis of. I know so many ladies who've been affected by Sailor Moon. It's kind of interesting to go back.
Yeah, you can argue that Sailor Moon is a part of the cultural canon for a certain generation.
Yeah, and it's weird too because I know so many people who, especially slightly older women who were really affected by Sailor Moon, and for some reason I assume that meant they must have grown up as children with Sailor Moon, which I always thought that meant Sailor Moon must have come out in the early '80s. No, it only came out like in the mid '90s.
You know, that's how I feel about Firefly.
Yeah.
I know, like, Bill, I always assume you watch Firefly when you're like 5 years old.
Hi,
And that's
baby.
why I like it so much.
Hey, don't stop the signal.
The guy who directed the last few Twilight movies is going to make a live-action Beauty and the Beast movie for Disney.
Who plays
What?
Beast?
What?
Yeah. No,
actually, if it were Practical Beast, I could I'd want it to be like pseudo Practical Beast.
If you say Tom Hardy, I'm gonna fucking hate you.
No, Tom Hardy isn't quite right for Beast. Because I wouldn't believe him ever turning into a prince again. Who would I want to be?
You'd make a better prince than the actual prince at the end of the anime. This is specifically supposed to be. It's actually not just a live action Beauty and the Beast, but it's supposed to be based off the card. Like this is Disney's first attempt at just flat out saying we're going to make a live action adaptation of the cartoon with all the same songs and everything.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said specifically this is going to be more based off of this stage show, which contains all the songs, but also has a few extra ones to kind of pad it out to actual like motion picture length. Because I think most Disney animated features are like 80 minutes long. This is going to be a little bit longer. So.
Wow, I did not know.
Yeah, so
this.
like that's what I'm saying. It's not just going to be a vague, assuming that they're going to try to create a beast that like is either going to have to be CG or prosthetics or something like that's going to be the big hulking beast. It's not just going to be Ron Perlman like cat makeup. Yeah.
Isn't Disney also doing a remake of Cinderella?
Are
Did
they?
you see a trailer for that?
It's weird it's taken them so long to realize that they could make so much money just by doing live-action versions of their old classic stuff. I mean, Maleficent is kind of like a half-assed remake of Sleeping Beauty, but...
Oh, Jon Snow is going to be the prince in Cinderella.
Are you serious?
Prince Charming, yep.
Wait, who's going to play Cinderella?
Cinderella is Lily James, who apparently was in Downton Abbey at Lady Rose McClare.
Oh, she's like the redheaded. She's like, just made no impact on that show. She's very like milk
Bounce
toast
right off of
like,
you, huh?
Which I mean, she's playing Cinderella. That's pretty much par for the course.
Most importantly, Kate Blanchett is playing Lady Tremaine. That's all
Yeah,
that
I can
is.
see that.
Oh my God, Helena Bonham Carter is the fairy godmother. Nope.
That's not even.
It's directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Could they not get what's her face? The best pies in London, Murder She Wrote.
Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, because that's an old lady, old chubby lady in Cinderella, right? Did you see that Johnny Depp is playing all the mice? Was it Gus?
Gus. Yes. Yes, it's Gus.
I think Nick Frost should play the Gus.
My little sister, so when my little sister was a little girl, she was a big lap sitter. She refused to get off my mom's lap.
Oh, yeah?
The only way my mom could make dinner in the evening while my dad was getting home from work was to turn on Cinderella. So we watched Cinderella every single day.
Cinderella?
Yeah.
You think Helena Bonham Carter would be playing the mom?
No, she's playing the fairy godmother, dude. Why not?
What the fuck?
Why not, dude?
It's kind of the point where someone needs to break her kneecaps so she can stay away from movies for a year and a half. Jesus Christ. Because I used to like Helena Bonham Carter, but like... Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily overexposure per se. It's just a lot of a very particular type of exposure.
Yeah, and she doesn't have any... She only has kind of like the one thing she does, where she's just like, and that's it, yeah.
That's a really good Helena Bonham Carter.
You know what?
She doesn't have the acting versatility that you do, my friend.
Turns out she's going to play Chewbacca's wife in Star Wars. But she's still going to be, And
Johnny Depp's going to be Yoda. It's going to be great.
So, is it going to be Ron Perlman as the Beast?
The guy who... Wait, I already read that one. Apple is about to ditch...
So we're not going to talk about who's going to play Gaston?
Bill, if you can keep talking about Beauty and the Beast for a little while if you want to. I can just chill out.
Benedict Cumberbatch is Lumiere.
Who did Foley pitch? Foley did actually pitch Benedict Cumberbatch as someone in Beauty and the Beast the other day. Who did he pitch as? Yeah. There's
not that many characters in Beauty and the Beast that, Is he going to play Miss Potts?
Maybe the Schifferobe. I don't know. Mostly I just wanted to use the word Schifferobe, so...
What's the old... Is it silent or black and white, the old live-action Beauty and the Beast, where it's like got the hands holding the torches, the candelabras and stuff?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it's a famous piece of like old Gothic filmmaking of just I think it may be silent, black and white Beauty and the Beast that movie's like worked a lot of like movie production designers and stuff. Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of the architecture and stuff in the house is made of human limbs and stuff like that.
Oh, that's great and fucked up.
Like the candle holders are actually human arms. Like it's not like it's you don't know whether or not it's actually human arms, cut off human arms or anything like that. But like they're shaped like hands and stuff like that. The castle's kind of like very.
Is it the implication like that the spell like
or something like that? Yeah, it's really weird, almost like magical realism, kind of like Pan's Labyrinth-y kind of weird shit. Yeah, but from like 80 years ago. Yeah.
So the rumor is that Apple is about to ditch headphone jacks altogether.
Yeah, so something about they just bought Dr. Dre's Beats headphones company. And so I guess their plan is that came out this week is that they want to ditch headphone jacks altogether, and so they want to create they want to use the Beats company to create a new line of headphones that will connect to your Apple devices through the Lightning port. Do you have any devices that you have a Lightning port?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because everyone's in an uproar about this because everyone's got headphone jack headphones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mark
bullshit does not appeal me anymore to Apple. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, Apple's argument for this stuff is that this would allow them to. It would be digital, like the actual sound files will be digital sound files rather than analog sound files, and this would also allow them to create headphones where. You could have like a little control device actually on the headphone cord, rather than just controlling the volume and skipping tracks and going backwards on tracks. You could actually like do more comprehensive, just controlling your iPod stuff, just remote control through your headphones. And also you'd be able to charge your device while you're listening to it too at the same time. Which doesn't make sense because if it's a portable device, who cares?
Yeah.
I could see in a MacBook or something like that. That would be a different thing. But. Oh no! Wait, that doesn't make any sense because your MacBook would be plugged in the wall. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, this sounds like Apple's attempt to kill headphone jacks.
We are about to exit the portable Mac ecosystem. Our iPad collects dust. Foley is about to switch her iPhone for an Android.
Yeah, a lot of people are buying Androids. Shit.
We're about to get out of there. I just can't afford to play this game anymore. I love Apple, and I'm going to keep my Mac computer, and I am going to probably still noodle around my iPad, but I just can't afford to play this game anymore, my friends.
Yeah, I'm just invested just because I am invested, literally.
Well, that's the thing.
But yeah.
The thing about Apple is they get you in, and, I love being able to push shit from my Mac to my Apple TV and blah, 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 but... I can't afford to play the Apple portable game anymore.
Come to Boy Howdy for our insightful commentary about Apple blah 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 blah.
Or come to Boy Howdy, just listen to us talk about Legos incessantly for 20 minutes on the hour every hour.
Finally, when you think about it, headphone jacks are pretty goddamn ancient technology.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can totally see how they are like, well, what is the new innovation we could bring?
Yeah.
There's screen, we can only do so much, this, that, the other. Headphones seem like an obvious extension of that. I totally get it.
Josh also pointed out too, as in terms of miniaturizing devices, headphone jacks are a huge obstacle because they're so big.
Yeah.
And so he's pointed out that the last couple versions of the iPhone, the only reason the iPhone's been as thick as it has is because it needs to. Make extra space for this, this big, relatively big round headphone jack port at the bottom of it. So if they can get rid of that, then iPhones and everything that can actually start getting even smaller. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Go.
Finally, rounding out the Geek Week in review.
Good.
Bill Watterson came out of retirement this week to draw artwork for 3 Pearls Before Swine strips. Supposedly only because the creator of that strip had made self-disparaging jokes about how much better a cartoonist Watterson was than him. Once again, Bill, did you not read any of the things? Actually,
Wait, how did I get this wrong?
No, it's not that you got it wrong. What happened was a punchline of a Pearls Before Swine strip many years ago was that...
many years ago?
Yeah.
It was super recently. Okay.
No, many years ago, the punchline was that the artist was out at a bar and was talking to this beautiful woman and said, "Oh yeah, I draw comic strips." And she asked which one, and he, rather than saying Pearls Before Swine, he says, "Oh, Calvin and Hobbes," and it gets him laid. And so he had sent this to Bill Watterson just as hey, thanks for inspiring me and all that.
Yeah.
And sorry for the kind of cheap joke, but I'm just saying. And many years later, he managed to get in touch with Bill Watterson, and they collaborated on this strip. The punchline of these strips is that the artist of Pearls Before Swine cannot draw, so a quote-unquote second grader could draw better. And yeah, sure enough, Bill Watterson draws the second grader stuff. And what's most impressive is that with the deadlines and everything of this stuff, you have to have the stuff drawn like 2 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they managed to keep this quiet until after the installments were done. Altogether.
Well, I said that Bill Watterson, he's enough of a hermit that he didn't want to communicate directly with this guy through phone or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to like scan the strips, so he had to mail his strips to the Pearls Before Swine guy, so he could actually submit the artwork.
Yeah.
I love that even when he's trying to like help out a guy, he'll still be a cranky guy. He doesn't want to actually communicate with the dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's funny because I saw people when the first strip went live maybe like a week ago. I saw people kind of like there were some rumblings on Twitter where people were like, if this guy's trying to draw like Bill Watterson, he's doing a pretty goddamn good job of it.
Yeah.
And then 2 more strips came out. And everyone's like, "What is going on? This is a little weird here." And then finally came out. Yeah, okay. Which is cute. I'm glad to see Watterson's doing something that's not just him in a locked room.
Yeah.
Being all J.D. Salinger about shit. I don't know. Yeah.
I really do like my favorite comment on the whole thing was actually Calamity John, who said, "I feel like Bill Watterson returning to draw Pearls Before Swine is some genuine monkey paw bullshit."
Oh, that's why. Pearls Before Swine is not necessarily a great comic strip. Of all the things in the world to come back for.
No,
it's...
My issue is not the quality of Pearls Before Swine, but of all the things that I would want Watterson to come draw, it wouldn't be just the single panel kind of random humor.
How about Penny Arcade's E3 reaction strips this week?
You're right. I would rather he draw
Spaceman and Spiff says this.
Thanks for putting it in perspective, Bill.
Spiff. That's even just a great phrase to say is any excuse to say Spaceman Spiff.
It is. This is true.
So do we have any E3 predictions or anything this week?
I'm just curious to see what the heck we hear from E3 because it's been kind of quiet on the gaming front for a while. I want to hear what's next for the PS4 and the Xbox One now that the consoles have kind of gotten out there and theoretically,
We should mention that we're thinking about maybe trying to do on Tuesday evening? We're thinking about if Annie has the spare time to do a quick post, because by Tuesday afternoon we'll have heard all the major press events from E3. So we might do a quick E3 just reaction wrap-up podcast, and that'll be next week's podcast because Annie will be on vacation. And the week after that I can talk to both Grumpy Turtle and I Hate DRM had asked me if they wanted to come in and co-host on the show, and I might end up doing that, but I'll have to figure that out later. But yeah, so there's a chance next week's episode will be super early, and that'll be here 2 days from now, maybe, that we'll be doing an E3 reactions thing. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of, if we could talk about our kind of predictions right now, or what we're hoping to see, or Yeah, I apologize for the tenuousness, y'all. We just have to get ready for our trip, and I have I should be not girl-matic. Whoa, ladylike. Wow, what's a flash?
I know, right? Jesus Christ, a decade ago. Woof. Anyway, but yeah. Otherwise, I'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't know. Do you have any E3 predictions or anything, Bill?
I don't know if it's even predictions as much as it seems to be pretty much. I can't imagine we're not going to see a Zelda Wii U announced. It'll probably be. I would imagine it'll be out Christmas 2014, Christmas 2015, and that'll be essentially be the end of the Wii U. Because I think that'll also be the first Christmas where Nintendo will have its next quality of life hardware out. And so I think that's how Nintendo tries to gracefully wrap up the Wii U's with the new Zelda. And I don't know. I guess it sounds like we're confirmed for Halo remakes. Do you think we'll see an Uncharted 4 teaser?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean,
was it last E3 that they showed off, or was that last fall that they showed off the pirate themed?
It was the PS4 launch when they showed that teaser.
Okay.
So knowing how, just based on how E3 teasers have worked before, they kind of drop everything for a month and a half beforehand, and then just build an E3 teaser that's based on some sort of amazing spectacle, and then they have to figure out how to work it into the game. I don't know.
Be surprised if they just say, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we get a date. Uncharted, even if they don't call it Uncharted 4, they'll just say Uncharted Next Generation Uncharted Fall 2015.
Yeah. I will be surprised if we hear much about Uncharted 4.
I think just because there's been so much kerfuffle about the not Uncharted team that I think they kind of need to come out and actually put a stake in the ground and say, hey, regardless of the talent situation on this game, we there is a date set. Maybe not a specific date, but we do have a launch window set, and there is. I don't know. If I were Sony, that's what I would do. Just because I'm sure they do have a release date targeted, with in-house. Why not come out and say,
Sure.
okay,
Well,
this
because
will be out the next year and a half. Yeah.
they had an overhaul. They had like the entire the creative leads of the game change over 2 months ago.
Yeah, but they created but the previous Uncharted games were created within 2 years.
I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, my friend. But anyway, it's I would prefer an Uncharted game that is given lots of time to bake.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not. I would prefer things too, but I think we'll probably see Uncharted 4 get teased.
I don't know how much they would gain by, I don't know how much they would gain by teasing anything just to deal with bullshit rumor mongering.
I predict, because all it takes to get Bill Watterson to come out and help you is if you make self-disparaging remarks is, I'm a terrible person. I'm terrible being the star of a Mass Effect game. So Bill Watterson can make some phone calls. And so Mass Effect 4 is not only announced this week, but also starring Bill Shep.
Mrs. Aid Shepard, yeah.
A cel-shaded game as drawn by Bill Watterson.
There we go.
But yeah, there are rumblings that Microsoft, in order to strike back against Sony, has locked up console exclusivity for the Xbox One for some kind of third-party, previously multi-platform property, and some people are wondering if that's not Mass Effect, and then that might get actually announced this week.
Which would be interesting because the first
one was, yeah. So at least I think that's actually what a lot of people are judging that based off, just because there is a previous history between EA, BioWare, and Microsoft. But you know what? As much as I love Mass Effect, I think Mass Effect, we probably won't hear about that until next year.
Yeah. I don't know. I want less teasing. In a perfect world, I want to hear a lot about games that are coming out this year.
Yeah, but that's I love that. Just assume that no, that's every cool thing you're gonna hear about this year is gonna be 2015. Well, the other interesting thing is that Nintendo has dropped hints that they've got some kind of 3DS and/or a handheld thing that they're going to be spending a lot of this E3 talking about, and I'm kind of wondering if it's just a 3DS game. I'm wondering if they may just be a port of Majora's Mask, the other Nintendo 64 Zelda game. The only thing that makes me wonder it may not be some kind of revision to 3DS hardware or something like that is Nintendo's, when they announced their projections for what they thought their earnings would be this year. Their projections for their 3DS sales were really fucking weirdly low for this year compared to last year, which either suggests that they think they would be hitting market saturation for the 3DS way sooner than you'd think they would, because you'd think after you'd want a gradually upticking sales for a piece of hardware like that, but they're actually predicting that they're going to be selling less 3DS hardware this year than they did last year, and I wonder if that's because they may be announcing a new version of the hardware that will, and it will still maybe called a 3DS or something like that, but the 3DS, as we know, won't be selling as well this year, just because, who knows? Well, I don't know. So that's the only reason why I'm thinking that maybe there's a chance there could be some kind of hardware thing. Probably not. I'm probably completely wrong. And it's probably not going to be Majora's Mask, because that's wishful thinking, because that's my favorite Zelda game. It'll probably be, it'll be fucking,
hey,
great.
You know what? The most important piece of video game news we have already heard, because in the last 24 hours we went through a cycle of The Last Guardian is canceled.
What happened last night?
Last
I was
Guardian is
away
not
from
canceled.
the internet when that happened. What was that?
The rumor was that Last Guardian had been canceled, and then one of the dudes at Sony just came out and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you people? No, it has not been canceled.
How
Calm
can it not
down,
be canceled?
assholes."
How is it still existing then?
Yeah.
I am so glad. I remember we had this talk last year before E3 where I specifically said if they don't unveil it during the PlayStation 4 E3 last year, it's never coming out. And so I've officially cut ties. It's my Star Wars thing where I cut ties with Star Wars emotionally. This is more like I would love nothing better than Last Guardian to finally get re-announced this year, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
Which means that they will probably announce.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that'd be great. Even again, if that's not a game that comes out until 2015. Oh man, because they're kind of dying for games. I mean, you think at this point, like the game. How is that game not done yet?
I don't.
What did they do? I want to finish Chicken Bird.
This is beyond us, my friend.
So is there anything else you care about, or?
I want to hear about some games. I'm looking forward to being surprised by whatever news.
It's mostly going to be indie games and shit. Oh man, last night Layla Wethington, she was totally browbeating me into trying to play Dragon Age 2 before Dragon Age 3 comes out.
Dragon Age 2 is the shit, son.
I was like, well, should I go back and play Dragon Age 1? And she said, I've never even played Dragon Age 1. I just love Dragon Age 2. And she's like, the story may not entrance you. The world is terrible because it's only like keeps on reusing the same 3 rocks in dungeons. She's like, yeah, the characters. You gotta go play that shit for the characters.
Those are some of my favorite characters in video games.
Have they announced, are the characters carrying over from Mass Effect 2 or Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age 3?
Well, it's like Dragon Age 1, technically your save can be imported to, and the choices you make affect the world, but there were only a handful of characters that actually appeared from 1 to 2, and they have announced,
like generations later?
No. It's all within the for like a couple of years, probably like a year between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But and then 2 takes place over the span of 2 or 3 years, and 3 seems to be pretty hard on the heels of 2. You have a character who is just a framing device character from 2 is one of your companions in 3.
Oh, okay.
There's a companion. There are a couple of companions from 1 who return in 2. And there's one of your companion characters from 2 is a companion in 3. So, yeah, 2 is like those characters, man. Barrick and Isabel and Evelyn. They're some of my favorite characters in video games.
Well, yeah, I was thinking without assuming there's not going to be that much to play this fall, like this might be a good time to catch up on Dragon Age.
No. Yeah, BioWare has been doing all sorts of teases for Dragon Age 3 this week, and they've been talking about character reveals in particular, and I'm really excited about my future boyfriends and girlfriends. It's going to be so good.
Oh, when Dragon Age 2, who did you play as?
Well, you only play as Hawk.
Did you play as Dude Hawk or Femme Hawk?
I played both.
Okay, because Leia was talking about she loves femshop like any sane-minded person, but she said she actually really enjoyed the voice acting for the Dude Hawk a lot more.
Femme Hawk's voice is pretty atrocious.
Yeah, that's.
I do not recommend that. And also, she has this annoying animation when she walks. Her hips swaggle. It's really distracting and shitty in Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, so fuck Lady Hawk.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Right.
So anyway. This was the Boy Howdy Podcast. We're boyhowdypodcast.com, at Boy Howdy Podcast on Twitter, howdy at boyhowdypodcast.com. You can send us an email, or you can use our contact form on our website. Grumpy Turtle, no matter how much you think I will not take your recommendations, if y'all have any recommendations for Vita games that I can play on my trip, let me know. Though I do have a stack of dirty books downloaded on my Kindle, so that's going to be more compelling than a bunch of dirty books, so good luck with that.
Are you going to read The Fault Is in Our Stars?
No.
That's the hit of the summer. You gotta catch up on that shit.
No.
You gotta find out who dies of cancer first.
Ugh. Hey everybody, I will not talk to y'all next week. Bill will be back, or maybe we'll do a mini-sode if my other duties not take me away.
We have no idea what's going on in the next 48 hours.
You will hear from me soon, or you won't.
We may record a whole bunch of Orange is the New Black episode commentaries on Wednesday. I'm forcing Annie to commit to that out of the blue too.
Yes, while I do Ladylike. I'll just have the microphone hooked up 2 ways. I'll be having a conversation with you as I do Ladylike.
In Orange is the New Black.
This week in Ladylike Podcast, we're reading The Price of Salt, which is a really, really good and important book in lesbian fiction. So
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say The Price is Right. I was really like, what the fuck book are you reading?
No. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a lovely couple weeks if I don't talk to y'all soon. And Bill, don't break anything while I'm gone.
Is the price of salt lower or higher than $2.99?
I swear to God, I am an idiot, but at the end of that book, I have no idea why it's called The Price of Salt.
Really?
I really don't.
Isn't that like a sweat metaphor? Like it makes you sweaty or some kind of like...
I'm sure there's some line in there that they allude to the
Just
price of
glazed
salt or
over?
something, and I just did not notice it or something. I have to. The reason why I'm hesitant about if we can do an E3 thing is that I have to reread the price of salt by Wednesday, and I need to. While I'm rereading, I need to look out for that.
Bluff your way through it. Come on.
No.
Okay.
All right, kids. I'll talk to y'all soon or not.
Ish.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll talk to you again. Who knows? We'll see you guys on the other side of E3.
Take care, pals.
Adios, guys.
All right, my friend. I will export my thing and email it to you.
Oh my god, that'll hold the little bastards. Oh shit, we're still broadcasting. That's a joke. Because that's a howdy doody joke. I guess I have to explain the howdy doody joke.
I have no
There's an
idea.
episode of Howdy. There was an old I think it was Howdy Doody, where as soon as they cut from commercial, well, they were doing like some Howdy Doody sketch, and when they cut to commercial, they actually like let the cameras on, and was it Buffalo Bill? He didn't realize that he was still being broadcast, and the moment he thought they had cut to commercial, he's doing like a little puppet show thing, and he turns around and says, that'll hold the little bastards for a little while longer. But that broadcast, the kids heard that.
Oh.
And so that's kind of like a little famous like 1950 slice of someone fucking up. One of the earliest TV fuck ups. So
Oh, dear
I mean,
Lord.
you didn't swear, but you did call the audience a bunch of little bastards. Oh
I'll
god.
get in touch with you about E3 stuff. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate, so I may not be able to, but I'd like to try. So please
like
know that I will try.
And it's entirely possible that the news that comes out is like even if we do record, it'll just be like, well, Mirror's Edge. At least we got another one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, my friend.
Maybe the most underwhelming E3 in history.
I've got to go. I have to finish Emily's birthday card and go mow my yard, so I got to get out of here. But as always, lovely talking to you, Bill.
Oh yeah, I did forget to talk about the PlayStation Now beta that I'm in. That's the streaming service?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be their answer to backwards compatibility. I actually got into that this week.
Oh, did you?
The streaming works. The game selection, which hopefully it's only for testing stuff, is terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's no it's all games from like 5 years, like third-party games from like 5 or 6 years ago. It's terrible.
Oh my god.
But the service actually works really well. But we have super fast internet here. But like I was really surprised. But that's neither here nor there. You have shit to do. I should edit the podcast. Yeah, send me your file whenever we're done. And I love you.
I love you too, Bill. Thank you all for joining us on this journey, dear viewers.
Okay, maybe we'll see you guys Tuesday night. Hold on, we'll figure out what's going on.
All right, talk to you later, Bill.
Okay, take care, guys.